Today's lesson is topic 10.3, using objects to divide. The objective for today is that I will use place value to understand the algorithm of long division. The problem we're looking at today says Paulo has 39 patches from states that he and his relatives have visited. He wants to pin them onto a board. Paulo wants to arrange the patches on the board in 3 rows. How many patches will be in each row? How would we model 39 with place value blocks? So the first thing that we went ahead and did was draw out our place value models. So we have the long ones right here, and the long ones each are 10, so that's why I have 3 of them. And then I have my ones, and I end up with 9 ones. Well, in order to arrange them into a specific way, we need to figure out how many patches are going to be in each one of my rows. He wants 3 total rows. Well, in each of my 3 rows, if you look at the circles, we'll consider those the rows. So there's 3 groups. With division, we're always taking a larger number and separating it into equal groups. In division, we always want to have equal groups. And sometimes in order to have equal groups, that means we're going to have some leftovers, which is what we call our remainders. In this problem today, right now, we have no leftovers because we have 3 groups that each have 13 in them. And a way to check our work would be to multiply the number that we have in one group times the number of groups that we have. So we have 13 in each of my 3 groups. If I were to multiply that, I should end up with my answer of 39. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. So my answer is indeed still 39. Next problem we're going to look at, we're going to have remainders. Oops, too far. Here we go. Helen has 55 postcards. As an art project, she plans to glue 4 postcards on to sheets of colored paper. How many pieces of paper can she fill? So how many pieces of paper does she fill with her 55 postcards? She wants to make sure that she has 4 postcards on each of the sheets of paper. So this time, we're trying to make groups of 4. So I start off with my answer of 55. And I draw that out first. So I will have my groups of 10, which is what you see here. Groups of 10, so there's 10, 20, 30, 40. And I see groups of 3s. Okay, to start, you might have already had 5 groups of 10 for 55 and then 5 ones. But in order to make separate groups, we have to separate out that last group of 10 into 1. So we look at how many ones we have. I see 3. Another 3, so I've got 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 more would be 12, plus these last 3 would give me my 15 total. Okay, so I've got 4 groups that each have a total of 13 in them, but this time I have 3 left over. It's really important to understand what the 3 left over mean. So what it means in this one is that I have 1 sheet of paper. Means that I have 3 leftover postcards that are not going to end up onto a sheet of paper for right now. That doesn't mean that they won't get to eventually, but for right now, the postcards that are left over will not end up on a sheet of paper. We're going to take a look at some of these problems together, and then I'm going to have you try one on your own. We're going to start with number 1, 76 magazines in 5 boxes. So for this one, we have our 76 magazines that need to be separated into 5 boxes. So to start, I'm going to draw my 5 boxes. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 up here. Okay, well, to start, I'm going to do my groups of 10. Well, my 10's rods, I'm going to color the blue. So I've got 1 group of 10. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Well, I'm looking at 76 total. So I know that I cannot add another 10 to all of them, but I can try other things. Okay, so I have already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 10. So far I've taken away 50 of them. So I have 26 left to divide out. Well, I've got 5. I know that 5 times 5 is 25. So now I'm going to put 5 ones in each one and see what I have. And by doing 5 ones, I am taking away 25 from my original total because I've separated them out in groups of 5. So I can subtract that. Well, that leaves me only 1 magazine left. So that leftover magazine cannot go in any of these boxes. So we call that our remainder. So if I have 76 magazines that need to be in 5 boxes, I'll end up with 15 magazines in each of my 5 boxes with 1 magazine left over. Let's take a look at the next one. Now I'm looking at 56 marbles in 3 bags. So 56 marbles in 3 bags. So this time I've got my 3 bags. Well, I always like to start with my groups of 10. So I do 10, 20, 30. Okay, well, again, taking away 30 from my 56 to see what I have left over. And I've got 26 left over. Well, I like to start in my groups of 5. I think that's easier to do my 5s and then figure out what I have left then. So I'm going to add 5 more to each one of them before I add any more. So I'm subtracting out 15. So I've still got 11 to spread out into my 3 groups. So I'm going to add 2 at a time. So there's 2, 4, 6. So 11 minus 6 would give me 5. So now I can add 1 more to each one, giving me just 2 left over. So this time, if I have my 56 marbles that are separated into 3 bags, I have 18 in each of my bags with 2 remainders. I would like for you to try number 3 on your own in your notes so we can look at that together when you bring it back to class.